And welcome everybody to the disappointing F1 stream. For anybody which thought Simons was here, tough shit. I mean, you will have to, go somewhere else. Oh man, I said shit. I think there is 17 seconds leeway. Bloody hell. Yeah, okay. I will see how it goes. I don't know. No bloody idea. Anyway, good evening, everybody. We are here to make the our show about the Brazil Grand Prix, Sao Paulo, and with me it's Lucky. Luckily enough for you, guys. How are you doing, Lucky?
Hey, I'm really good. I'm
Yeah.
glad to be back.
Yes.
Are we going to tell everybody about Simos and how he got arrested and is
Yes. Yes.
now
Yes.
now waiting trial in Wormwood Scrubs, I believe.
I think it was in Colombia.
All right.
Maybe I don't, or Venezuela. Oh no, it was in Venezuela. I think it was. So I'm not sure if he's in U.S. prison because he was captured, in a Venezuela boat, or he's in Venezuela for other reasons and he got it. But I think it's Venezuela. It has nothing to do with that. So we don't know.
I see.
Yeah.
Hugo Chavez.
Yes, yeah. Of course, the embassies are all over the place, and they'll try to get him out of prison. Luckily, soon enough for the next races, which are going to be, I'm going to say now, so I don't forget at the end. Next race is going to be Las Vegas. And then we're gonna have the Arabian ones. What is Abu Dhabi and Qatar and Abu Dhabi and bloody hell.
That's usually the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's still a fuss. The last two races I can't really.
Let's see what happens. The last race might not count as far as the main prize is going, with Lando being dominant.
Yeah. So and we also had the sprint race. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the sprint race?
Well, there's not much to tell really. It was a bit of a strange qualifying for the sprint race, but at the end of the day, Lando started on pole and he finished first. Now, second place, Kimi Antonelli. Brilliant result for Kimi. George Russell third, Verstappen fourth, Leclerc, Alonso, Hamilton, Gasly, Lance Stroll, and Isaac Hadjar were the top 10. It was an okay race for the Ferraris. It was fairly solid for what they did. Hamilton was only 2 seconds behind Leclerc at the end. So it was a much better sprint race than it was Grand Prix for the Ferrari guys. But I'm sure we're going to talk about that in a minute.
I mean, it was also an exciting race because it started with the wet, and then but nobody went into wet tires. I mean, the circuit wasn't dry, all of it, right?
No, especially as Oscar Piastri found on the curbs. When you went too far onto the curbs, it was basically game over because they were holding water and he threw it away basically. It was a terrible weekend for Piastri, and that was just the start of his terribleness, I think.
Yeah. And then Colapinto said, "Hold my beer. I know what I'm doing," and he just crashed at the last lap. He destroyed the car.
Is that not Bortoleto?
Oh, Bortoleto. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I always speak a mess up.
That was what I was going to say. That was a scary crash.
Yep.
It was. He was really moving when he lost the back of that car. And it was lucky that he just missed. It was Hadjar was behind him, and there was somebody he was thinking of overtaking, but flashed across the front of, and they must have shit themselves when they saw that car coming. It fell a severe rate of knots backwards.
Yeah,
but it was. It was Piastri's to lose, and he lost it. Uh, Norris extends his lead after the end of the sprint race, and then we get on to the main race, which you're going to talk about in a minute. And he won again, and is now got a sort of fairly commanding lead in the championship with only a couple of rounds left. So 3 rounds left. So, what do you think? The main race?
Yeah. No.
There must be some mixed emotions in Italy this weekend. The Ferraris, through no fault of their own, doing so badly in the main race, and then of course Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah.
Both races.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah, so a little bit of recap of the race. Let me follow the recap and I try to do my best.
Okay.
So as you said, well, before the race there was a disturbing and really bad qualifying by Red Bull with the setup of Max Verstappen, which forced him to start from the pit lane. That was a huge mistake by Red Bull. I mean, you're fighting for championship and you make that kind of shit. Anyway, I mean, the race starts and and there is a little bit of a kerfuffle at the first corner. Nothing really happens. Norris goes ahead, Antonelli and Leclerc following closely, and at the back, there is a bit of shenanigans, but nothing serious, nothing fancy. Alonso, good start. Not a very good start by Lewis Hamilton, by the way. So yeah, there is that, and I mean everything goes.
Swiped by Sainz, of course, as well in the first corner.
Yeah. I mean Sainz. I mean it's so red. So what the hell? I mean bloody hell. I'm going for it. More shenanigans with. I think it was Gasly and I can't remember who. And of course, Bortoleto decided to repeat what he did in the sprint race and crash in the wall. So that was a safety car for you. I think he collided with somebody that you know fairly well, isn't it?
Possibly,
yeah. Possibly it was our man Lance Stroll. Lewis Hamilton collided with Gasly, and that is going to be important because he destroyed his floor, and he will be given 5 seconds penalty for that. I mean, he kept running, but the car was in really bad conditions, and they did it because they felt that if a penalty was going to be applied, they wanted to expire the penalty during the race. If not, it would have been in the other race.
Yeah.
What were you saying, real quick?
I can't. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I was going to say. Speaking of Lance Stroll, I sent us a message, a text message to our good friend of the show, Mike Crack.
Oh yeah,
asking how he got on this weekend. So hopefully we'll get a reply from him during the show.
I don't think we're gonna have Mike Crack available live, but yeah, I mean, we can imagine what he said. Maybe I don't know.
We'll see what he says when he sends his
reply. Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. Anyway, the race continues. Fantastic Ollie Berman. Ollie Berman made also a bloody good race in the sprint race. Lap 5, restart. And this is where it happens. Piastri, is a little bit too optimistic. I mean, Norris goes ahead, and it's cool, And behind him, there is the trio from Doom, Piastri, Antonelli, and Leclerc. Piastri decided to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna risk it. Which, by the way, I can't really blame the guy. Okay, he's fighting for the championship. He had to try.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he locked his tire. He was never ahead of Antonelli on his right, so double problem for him. He collided with Antonelli, which collided into Leclerc. And okay, this is a real quiz for you. Who had his car completely destroyed and had to stop between the three of them? Keep in mind, Piastri was at fault. He bumped into Antonelli, and Antonelli bumped into Leclerc. Who do you think had his car completely destroyed and out of the race?
it was poor Charles Leclerc. And that was a real
Yeah,
shame. He
yeah,
was totally innocent in that incident. Um, it's such a shame for Charles. I've taken a liking to Charles Leclerc, but his luck. He seems to have the worst luck of any F1 driver.
yeah.
But I'm just going to come back to them. There's something that we're going to talk about the two Ferrari drivers just in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Anyway, the race keeps on. Keep in mind, Leclerc is out with the tire bouncing off, and Hamilton is last with the floor destroyed. So, good job for Ferrari. It's a good thing for the Italian fans that at least Antonelli was
Yeah,
pulling a fight of his life. He just passed Ajar, which was fourth. We still, after the restart, Ajar tries, to have a fight with Lawson, which was kind of a mobile chicane. At times it was really weird, but yeah, I mean, there was that. So first restart of the race, that's how it went. Uh, car from Antoinette, from car from Leclerc, the front suspension was completely destroyed, and yeah, Tsunoda decided to bump back into, I think it was Stroll, so no damage there. Lap 7, lap 7, Verstappen changed the tire, puts a set of yellow tires under virtual safety car because of that shenanigans of Tsunoda. So virtual safety car starts again. We have Norris ahead and Piastri, followed by Antonelli, Jar, Lawson, Russell, and Gasly and Berman 8. Lap 12, Russell points Jar and overtakes him. Yeah, some overtakes. I mean, it was quite good, But Berman was fantastic on Lawson, by the way. But yeah, it was really good. Yeah, that overtake of Berman on Lawson was amazing because he just, I mean, Berman was in Rio and Lawson was in Sao Paulo. That was the distance, and yeah, I decided to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And he actually did what Piastri was supposed to do, but Berman, managed to do it
yeah,
without blocking the time. So yeah, there is that. In the meantime, there is the fury of Verstappen, which again, remind you, he started from the pit lane, and by lap 21 is already sixth, passing Albon and going fifth with the fastest lap. It was on fire, really on fire. We are almost at the middle of the race. There is a fight between Hülkenberg and Albon, and also Albon is again, chased by Berman. Piastri, which was given a 10-second penalty because of the accident that it caused, expired his penalty when he changed the tires, and he restarted with I think red tires. While Hamilton just retired the car because there was no point. I mean, the floor was destroyed. The car was all over the place. It was a mess to see. Yeah, again, we had two real fighters over there, Berman and Verstappen with a good Antonelli. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know it, but both Berman and Antonelli, they came from the same team in previous categories. Do you remember? Do you know which team it was?
no, I don't.
It was Prema Racing, the Italian
Oh,
team, which now runs in IndyCar now. So
okay.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good place to find drivers, I suppose.
Apparently.
But yeah, lap 55, Verstappen stops and restarts with red tires, and tell him, man, you got to have 15 laps. They're gonna be qualifying laps, and he actually did. He chased Russell. I think he had 14 seconds when he started on Russell. by lap 57 we have Lawson, fighting with Berman, but Berman at the end we left the last word. Lap 63. Yeah, we have a fantastic Verstappen passing Russell on the outside at the first corner. Again, he was on fire, and nobody knew how long the tires were gonna last. And now Verstappen is, chasing Antonelli. He tries, for the last laps. He couldn't do it. At the end of the race, Verstappen had nothing but good words for Antonelli. He said he was really proud of him, which, the guy's 19 years old, and having a driver like Max Verstappen telling him, "Yeah, I'm proud of him." I think it's a pretty good thing to put on your CV. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, Norris won and he increased his advantage. I have no idea how many points he has. I think he has 20 something or 14, 24. I don't know. But anyway, this is the result. Norris first, Antonelli fantastic second, Verstappen third. He almost beat. I think there were a couple of drivers. One was Mansell, and the other one, I can't remember who it was, which started from the pit lane, and the best they could do was get second. So he almost did it. One, I'm sure it was Mansell. I think the other one might have been Prost. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Anyway, Norris, Antonelli, Verstappen, Russell. Piastri fifth. Tried to limit the damage of a very bad weekend. Berman, fantastic sixth. Lawson seventh. Ajar eighth. Hülkenberg, Gasly, and all the rest of the drivers. So that would be the race recap. So, did you enjoy the race?
Well,
Lucky.
apart from the scrappy couple of first laps, yeah, there was things going on for a change, and as you mentioned through the recap there, that there was some racing going on, which was nice to see. We'll start, of course, with our man and the rest of the Red Bulls. That's Isaac and Jill Ajar. He had kind of a mixed weekend. In the sprint race, he managed to be the best of the rest Red Bulls with Lawson and Sonoda. Sonoda, he's a disaster. He was a disaster in the sprint race, and he was a disaster in the main race. It's the only reason he's there is Honda's money. It's obvious, and when that Honda money goes, he's going to be going as well. I've noticed that Helmut Marko is very quiet about Sonoda. Like of Lawson, he's criticised. The second driver, he's criticised a lot, but he's never criticised Sonoda in such a fashion. And I think that he's maybe under the orders of Honda to be quiet about that. I was doing a bit of research over last week, and apparently having a Japanese driver in a car is worth a hell of a lot of money in Japan. And it's worth more than it costs to put him there. So I think maybe it's Honda that's the only reason that he's still there. But in the race itself, the main race, Lawson and Hajar seemed to be running sort of fairly close to each other all the way through. At the start of the race, Hajar seemed to have the advantage, but I don't know what happened to him. Somewhere in the middle of the race, he lost some time, which allowed Lawson past, and he didn't manage to get past him again. So that was the Red Bulls. There's some rumors of either Hajar or some other guy who's in Formula 2 at the moment, but who is only 17, as being candidates for the seat next year. But we'll have to see about that. I can't remember the young guy's name. He's South American of some description, but I can't remember what. Okay.
Yeah.
The driver of the day. I've got three nominees for driver of the day. Norris, obviously, because he was the man in charge at Brazil. Verstappen for pit lane to third. I mean, what can you say? And then, of course, we have Antonelli, a 19-year-old getting two second places over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to go with Antonelli just because he's a young
It,
lad and he's making an impression.
it's yeah. No, I mean it's really hard. You're right because I mean Norris would be the obvious one, right? I mean he won the sprint race, he got pole, he won the main race. So yeah, that was a fantastic weekend for him, and that would be the obvious one. Yeah, Verstappen made a fantastic race. So yeah, which was just ruined by the choices of his team, in qualifying with that
Yeah.
horrible setup.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, but we have a second, Antonelli second, and again, the fact that he received the praises of Verstappen just makes him like first and a half. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more than second. So yeah, I think it's really tough. It's really hard. So I will put another name just for just so for
Go
shit and
ahead.
giggles. I would say Berman because considering the car that he's driving, I think he did a fantastic race. I mean, it was the best of the Ferraris well, at least on the Ferrari engines, in the race. So there is that. So yeah, I mean, I'll just say Berman, even if it's not really MVP. I think the MVP should be Norris, right? But yeah, I don't want to take position with Norris, Verstappen, and Antonelli. I think they are the three of them. They deserve the MVP. So I'll just say Berman. For yeah,
That sounds fair. Yeah, Antonelli was under serious pressure from Verstappen towards the end of the race,
yeah.
and more experienced drivers would maybe have made a mistake under the
Oh
same
yeah,
pressure.
yeah,
So and have done under the same pressure. So
yeah,
I'll go with Antonelli. I think is my
yeah. Yeah.
man
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, I can only agree. And it was super interesting. I don't know. I think it was on the Italian television when they interviewed him, but I'm not really sure if it was for the Italian television or the international one. That he mentioned. They asked him about Russell, and he said something on the line that well, Russell now is a little bit more worried, because I'm having a good streak. So yeah, good for him, and blah blah blah, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, the guy has a fierce spirit, if you get what I mean. So yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah.
I'd agree with that, and he certainly did a better job of keeping Verstappen behind him than
Oh yeah,
Russell did. The
yes.
overtake that Verstappen did, um, Russell kind of dummied it to the left and then went right. And Verstappen didn't give a shit. He was going around whether it was in the outside or the inside, and Russell didn't
Yeah.
have any choice.
I can't remember the conditions of the tires of Russell at the time, but I mean, even Antonelli's tires were not that good. He had yellow tires. I mean, it is true that Verstappen had red tires, and he made like 15 laps really fast, so they were probably kind of destroyed. But Antonelli had yellow tires, and they were not new.
Yeah,
So I can't remember if there was so much difference between Antonelli and Russell tires in terms of life. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Antonelli just, when he saw Verstappen on his rear mirror, he said, fuck it, I'm just going for it. And it was really cool. The team radio from Bono at a certain point. That was impressive because Bono is a guy which, so he started working with Schumacher. He spent 12 years with Lewis Hamilton. So he is no slouch, if you get what I mean,
yeah,
right?
lots of
And yeah, and when Verstappen, was coming at Antonelli, he just told him, yeah, we just, I mean, he's coming, something on the line. We just we just leave it at you. You know what's happening. We just leave it at you. So fully confident on a 19-year-old guy. Yeah, which is really good.
Yeah, it's not going to be long before he stands in the top step. I think.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I think that's
yeah, yeah. Another driver which I think is worth mentioning is Nico Hülkenberg, which was a little bit, unlucky at the end. But I think it was so. I can't remember who was the other one, but he basically made all the race with. He only stopped once for tire change, which was a big gamble, and can't remember. I can't
Gasly.
remember if he got points or not. I don't know, but yeah, was a good race for him. I think he got 1 point. Yeah, no, I'm sure he got 1 point. So he kind of saved the
Hulkenberg was ninth.
yeah. So yeah.
He would have got 2 points.
So 2 point. Yeah. So he kind of saved the weekend for the Kick Sauber. I don't know how the fuck is called right now. That bloody team.
Right at the moment, yes.
The the Binotto team, he kind of saved the weekend, by giving some points and getting some money. But yeah, it was interesting, and that was the interesting part, the most interesting part of the race. I think the tactics were really good. And the fact that that Verstappen changed the tires, you just mixing the changes, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think he played. Well, for some reason, I don't know what it is. That Brazil track and Verstappen just seem to gel together. I mean, remember his antics with the rainy. Hey, Bob.
hey, we have Bob again. Yeah,
Oh,
good to see you, man.
absolutely. Welcome back.
Yeah, we sorry, we don't know about Simons. Last news were that he was probably in a Venezuelan prison, maybe, or Colombia. We don't know, but yeah, we will see what happens. The diplomacy is working to get him out of whatever hell he's got into. But yeah, but I'm sure he's gonna be back soon. So yeah.
Absolutely. So what was I going to talk about there? Yeah, let's go for Ferrari. Now, uh, it was a disaster weekend for sure. However, there's a guy called John Elkin,
Yes.
Ferrari chairman.
Yeah.
Okay, he says the drivers need to shut up
Yeah.
and concentrate more on racing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this guy?
Well,
I think it's a bit overreaction, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, so Elkan is a kind of peculiar guy. I mean, he's not slouch. He's not stupid. He's the guy which basically managed to get Lewis in Ferrari. So there is that. So yeah, and he's the only one of the ownership which is most into the F1. I think he had to say that because also there were again some complaints about the qualifying, all the stuff. I mean, I don't know. Something must have happened that they want to put a stop on something. Maybe something on the line. Okay, we know we're working on that, and I mean, we got you the first, second, and third time, if you know what I mean, right? Now we know it. We got to work on it, and the fourth, the fifth, and sixth, and the seventh time is not helping. So maybe there was that. I don't know.
This late in the season, it just seems like a bit of an overzealous kind of statement to make. I mean, what's he expecting them to do in 3 races? The car's not suddenly going to become magically the fastest car on the track.
I don't think that he was so. This is just my impression, but I don't think that when he said that he meant to make them go faster rather than make them stop talking, to the
Okay.
press.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I think it's that. I mean, when I say that, they should be driving. They should be thinking to drive faster and not, not talking. I think it was the talking part which was getting quite annoying. And the thing, it's the reason I said before. Even if I don't know, I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, I will point my finger there. Hey, Dave,
Hey, captive.
thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for coming by to see us.
Yeah, we are all in the fort, while Simons is away in, I don't know, in prison, or I don't know, surrounded by gals. Well, we don't know. I mean, we have the moment we have news, we're gonna tell it to you guys. Yeah, yeah.
Um, what about Lewis going into the back of the, was it an Alpine?
Yes, I think he bumped into Gasly. He was really pissed because they gave him 5 seconds. He kept saying on the radio, I mean, those kids, I mean, they don't know shit about it. But it was really, really furious. I mean, I honestly don't know. That is the kind of accident that you can really make yourself an idea when you have the telemetry, there. So if he turned into the guy, if the guy braked, we don't know, right? So it's really hard. There is one thing that I have to say, is that the fact that they gave the 10 seconds penalty to Piastri, while there is a championship in place, it was, I mean, I wouldn't say a brave choice, but of course it was the right choice, but still, it took a little bit of guts. It was, so let me put it this way: Masi wasn't there, right, and it showed. Yeah,
Okay, so Bob says, at the beginning of the season, I thought Lewis would underperform with Ferrari and quit after half of the races, but he's hanging in there. Um, I think we're of the opinion on this panel that there was such a difference, Bob, between the Mercedes and the Ferrari that Hamilton didn't realize was there. And I think now, with 21 races gone, he's starting to get to grips with the car. Is positioned behind Leclerc, that's been going the whole season, is now a bit closer than it was. So I think Hamilton has still got to fight,
yeah,
but he's got to shut up, apparently.
yeah. Which it kind of makes sense. I mean, he was unlucky in Sao Paulo, but he showed a good performance in Mexico, for example. So, yeah, I agree with you. And we talked about it, and I think well, I would say the consensus, but the most valid idea was that the biggest problem that Lewis found in Ferrari was the engine management and the engine brake management, which was apparently it's totally different from the Mercedes, and this is kind of I mean, it's a big deal, it's something which really makes you change the way that you drive, way more than the setup and all that stuff. So yeah. Bob Elvis says, I can't watch F1 anymore that now that there are no torrents in time. Haven't seen the last 7 races, so I might be able to help you with that, Bob Elvis, but you gotta get in touch with me privately in some way. I don't really know how to give. Well, okay. You can probably find me on Discord. And if you don't, just leave a message over there. I'll try to get in touch with you. But yeah, but there are ways. I will try to fill your gap. So yeah,
I think there's extended highlights on YouTube as well.
yeah,
If you want, the radio stuff's all repeated. the qualifying's got highlights as well. So if you can't see the whole race, you can certainly get the gist of what was going on um, purely on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but if you really like racing, better. I mean, and I think Babelvis, gets into that category.
Yeah,
You really want to see how how the race, expands. So, I mean, with the highlights, you see the highlights, but for the and this is why F1 is such a difficult spectator sport. I think is that what is the guy which really likes that kind of stuff. He loves to see how you get to that highlight, if you get what I mean. How it evolves. That's the evolution more interesting than the other one. I mean, we mentioned before the fact that the change tires. There was a thing that for a moment that Verstappen came back with the white tires and he said he had a puncture, which I'm not really sure he had a puncture, by the way. I think he realized that the white tire wasn't working and he didn't want to give the information to the other teams. So he get back in and said I had a puncture. So that would be my impression. So again,
devious.
yeah. Because I mean, there were no signs that he had a puncture, like at all, right?
Hamilton's pulled
And,
that trick in the past. He's said things about tires that weren't true, so you never know. So, what else went on in the race? There wasn't really a lot. There was brief moments of action, as you mentioned earlier, with Beerman, Lawson, Hajar,
yeah,
but there wasn't really much in the way of excitement. We better talk about Verstappen, and as you said, pit lane start was challenging for second place, but
yeah.
then he gets on that Brazilian track, and for some reason, as I said earlier, he just can't lose. It's quite amazing. Although I don't know if you heard the radio message after the red flag, and they told him if you do X, Y, and Z, they actually said recommendations. It'll
Yeah.
stop you oversteering into the first corner. And he said, no, it's not that. It's the track. And then his engineer, what's his name?
Lambiase,
Yes.
Giampiero Lambiase. Yeah,
He said, listen, Max,
yeah,
if you take these recommendations, it'll stop this understeering. Whether you take them or not is your choice.
yeah. We're just gonna tell you how not to do it. Whether you're gonna do it or not, it's your choice. I mean, you gotta get. I mean, Lambiase has a massive set of bolts. There are rumors that the seat he's sitting on is a special one, and he has got holes because he can't sit without. Basically his bolts are dangling, down from the seat because there is no space. So yeah, I mean, he takes no prisoners. I mean, it was one. What was that last year? There was that video of him, having kind of a hot conversation with Max Verstappen, on the close to a truck, and he was trying to explain himself. Yeah, I mean, listen, if I tell you things, it's for your, it's for your betterment, and all that stuff. But yeah, but Babis is right. It was, I mean, Max had to pass everybody, and eventually he will have to find somebody which held him up. And of course, I mean, there are not so many. I mean, they're the usual suspects. It might have been either Stroll or, well, it could not have been Tsunoda only because it raced the same car. But yeah, I mean, Stroll
Oh,
was
wow. Did you hear that? That was a text notification. Let me just check and see if this is a text from
Oh,
our
okay,
good friend of the show,
okay,
Mike Craft.
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. It's Mike Crack. He's
Oh.
replied to my question. How did you get on in Brazil? I said, Mike, how did you get on in Brazil? And
Mm-hmm.
he's replied, Mike Crack says, Lance Stroll. What a twat.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. I
You know,
mean, yeah. I mean, who would have thought, right?
concise, clear and concise.
Yes. 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 Yeah. What else? Oh, so okay. There was another thing. I almost forgot, and that's the reason why I put this picture behind me. There was a good news for Ferrari in last weekend. One piece of good news was that they won the WEC, the World Endurance Championship.
Nice.
They got both the manufacturers and the drivers championship. So I think it's Giovinazzi. Can't remember the other two drivers which won the championship, and the team won the champ. So good. I mean, I guess, yeah.
Was that a race in Dubai by any chance?
It was the 8 hour of, I think, Dubai. Yeah, you're right.
One
Yeah.
other thing about that race, Jenson Button, that was his final race as a racing driver, professional racing driver. He is now
Oh, okay.
retired.
Yeah.
So goodbye, Jenson Button, 2009 F1 champion.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah.
Le Mans winner. I think he won Le Mans, didn't he?
I think he did. I think he did. By the way, Ferrari, they won the championship and both manufacturer and drivers by getting third, fourth, and fifth because the race was won by the two Toyotas, but it wasn't enough. So yeah, it's a good thing. So the funny thing, and another reason why I mentioned that is that I can't remember the name of the guy which manages the endurance program in Ferrari. I think Castelli, I think it is. I don't know, something like that.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was one of the names that were made before Vasseur came in.
Okay.
And I think that is quite. I mean, we don't know if he's happy not having taken the job or not have been chosen by the job. But I mean, he surely had his, I would say, revenge. He should have. He had his own glory moments. Hi, Missing Mod. Yeah, thank you for joining.
Hey, missing.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming by. So, is there anybody else we need to talk about in this race? I don't think so.
no, yeah,
Sonoda last running car,
yeah,
just about 10 seconds behind the last running driver, Lance Stroll.
yeah,
Caught up into Fernando Alonso. He seemed to be quick in
yeah.
some parts of the race, but he couldn't seem to make it all the way through consistently. But still on the lead lap. Who else? There's nobody else to talk about. Carlos Sainz, he managed to smack into Hamilton in the first corner.
Yeah.
I think Hamilton actually saw that coming and didn't really have much of anything that he could do about it apart from just hold on. But no, there's nobody else who we need to talk about, I don't think. As far as the championship now goes,
Yeah.
driver standings. So Norris is now 390 points to Piastri's 366 to Verstappen's 341.
Yeah.
So I think there's still a mathematical chance of Verstappen getting there. But
No, it's yeah, but
require both the McLarens to DNF and everything between now and the end of the season. I think.
yeah, I mean, I really see Verstappen chances really gone downhill, and if Piastri doesn't wake up like today, I think there's going to be a Norris cavalcade. I mean, there might be something happening. Like for example, I mean, next race is in Vegas, as we said, and for example, Antonelli made a fantastic race last year in Vegas, and the
Yeah.
Mercedes overall, were really fast. So they might get in between, if you know what I mean. I mean, the Ferraris seem to have, a little bit of resurgence, not considering, the drama of Brazil, for reasons that were, I mean, to be honest, they were beyond them. I mean, Leclerc made a fantastic qualifying anyway, but and Lewis wasn't that far. I mean, even if I think he didn't pass Q2, but I mean, they were really all very close. So again, I think that the only hope to have a reopening. So I don't think Max is gonna make it. First of all,
Yeah.
and Piastri, I think that he needs some help by by some other people, namely probably the Mercedes, in Las Vegas, and the Ferraris, if they actually start to deliver what they've shown in the last races. Yeah, Babel, by the way, agrees with us. Says yes, no for Max to become champion again. Yeah, I think so.
I think after this weekend, I think you're hitting the nail on the head there,
Yeah,
Bob, to be honest. And I'm not sure that you can blame Max for it either. I think that's maybe it's been the team's fault over the weekend. There was something
yeah,
they were missing
yeah.
at the start of that qualifying, and of course the engine penalty uh, didn't help. I mean, it seemed that the help would get the car moving, but it didn't help with his championship.
Well, I mean, it wasn't was the engine penalty. I mean, the reason he started from the pit lane was because they made massive changes to the aero setup. I think that in qualifying they made some setup, expecting rain or stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, but the funny thing is that they didn't change anything massive. I mean, the wing was the same. They changed the B wing, the one which is below the main plane, on the rear, the one which is between, the diffuser and the wing. So that was the main change. And actually, I mean, the car was flying. I mean, tire was good. I mean, it was complaining, but Max, unless he's ahead, and sometimes even when he's ahead, I mean, he is kind of complainer. If you get what I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, I agree with you. The team has a massive fault, I think, in especially having seen what kind of race he was able to put on. He changed tires one time more than the other ones, even if under virtual safety car, I mean, he didn't lose that much of a time, but still, I mean,
yeah. It was a drive of a champion. There's no doubt with that. But not this year's champion, I don't think.
yeah. Well, anyway,
But
here's one.
we're off to Las Vegas next week, and as you said,
I think it's in 2 weeks.
is it 2 weeks?
I
Okay.
think it should. I think it's the 23rd of November,
That,
and and then the last three races would be consecutive weekends. I think.
got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So I think that about covers everything. Unless
Yeah.
there's anything
Yeah.
else you want to hit on. There's no
Yeah.
no Formula One news this week. It's just been extremely dull as far as things are going. The only rumor that I've heard is this young guy, this young South American that Helmut Marko seems to have taken a bit of a shine to,
Mm-hmm.
who's going to be a candidate for the seat next year. But I'm not sure he's going to be old enough in time for the start of the year, because they've now got this 18-year-old rule, haven't they? You've got to be 18 before you can get a super license.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the reason why. I mean, Antonelli was barely 18. I'm not sure he was 18, by the way.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I have doubts about that. I don't
well,
know.
should be. I know
I
that
don't. Yeah.
he's currently, I think, in Formula Two, but has had only one podium this year. Uh, so I'm really not sure why they've singled this guy out as being a replacement. I think somebody with a year under the belt, like Hajar has got, would be a much better uh, uh, placement in that second Red Bull. But then again, we all know what happens to the second Red Bull driver.
Yeah. Yeah. And so before we leave, I mean, Bob Elvis says, I think the last side change for Max was a gamble to have the best tire after a possible pace car situation. Yeah, possibly. I think that in the last laps there were a lot of people waiting for a safety car or a red flag, which is, I mean, not uncommon in Brazil. Um, I think that, Bob continues, says Red Bull knew Max would not be able to keep Norris behind, so they took a gamble. Yes, and also I think that according to the radio communications, they were basically making the race on Antonelli on the second one. So I think they around lap 45 ish, because they changed tire at 51. They were already thinking, okay, I mean, second place is the best we can manage to do if we manage to do it. Let's put red tires. Let's have a qualifying laps and see what happens. I mean, if of course, I mean, if a pay safety car or red flag, I mean, red flag would have been another problem. But if a safety car came in, uh, those tires would have lasted more. So yeah, I mean there was that, but yeah, I mean he just put his foot to the down and he just went, which is really good.
Yeah,
I mean it was
I think by the time he got into the back of Antonelli, I think he'd had the best out of those tires. The pair of them in the last couple of laps were kind of sliding around a little.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean, they both did an extremely good job. Antonelli for keeping him behind, and
yeah.
Verstappen from getting from the pit lane to the back of the second place car. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, which was, I mean, a really good thing to see. I mean, we finally see some bloody duels, like
yeah,
not like the one. I mean, last race in Mexico was Verstappen and Leclerc, which kind of went out because of the safety car and all that and Carlos Sainz.
and yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's good, right? I mean, we actually see some good fights between Max Verstappen and his younger contenders, the
absolutely,
future F1. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that was exciting.
yeah.
Okay, listen, man. If we haven't got anything else, I think it's time to end.
No,
Unless you have
no, 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 no. You're not getting away without answering a question.
oh fuck me. Okay,
You're not getting away without answering a question.
okay.
And
Have,
Bob,
have,
and
have,
anybody
have,
else.
have you got a myth for us or
I
stuff like
don't
that?
know.
No.
I'm just going to go with a question because we've got
Okay.
6 minutes left.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Bob, I hope you're paying attention, and anybody else that's in chat.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my phone for some reason is not working right. Okay, so 1994,
Mm.
the last race of the year was, of course, where?
I've no idea. What
Oh,
was it?
no,
Japan? What was that?
no, it wasn't.
No.
1994 was, of course, the last race at Australia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that was the race that is most famous for Michael Schumacher, the cheating bastard, robbing David
Hey,
Hill
hey, 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 hey,
of
hey, hey, hey.
championship.
Chill, chill. I've got the fingers on the button here. It's not Simon, so chill. Okay, turn it down. I mean, you're on 11. You got to dial it down to 5. Okay, yeah.
So anyway, that was what the race was most famous for. Of course, was the collision between Schumacher and Damon Hill that decided the championship in Schumacher's favor
Mm-hmm.
by one point.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the question: the man who took pole and won the race and got his final ever podium in Formula One was who?
I'll leave time. So I'll pretend I know, and I'll leave time to Bob Elvis to reply
Yeah, you
because
want
I'll.
you think we all Schumacher?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course we
yeah,
do. You're
good.
cheating.
Listen, give points to Bob Elvis. Regardless, give points to him.
That's a point to you, Bob. You're ahead already.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, what do you think, Bob? This driver in 1994 at the Australian Grand Prix, last race of the season, got his last ever pole position, his
Oh,
last
purposes.
ever win, his last ever podium, and his last ever race finish. I think it was.
So he says Alesi. I mean,
It's a good guess. Alesi only
yeah.
won one Grand Prix, and that was in Canada, of course. He got a run back on the back of whose car at the end of that race because he ran out of fuel, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
I
he
mean,
sat in the back. Maybe was it Senna's car? Maybe?
I can't remember. To save
I
my
remember him sitting
life.
on top of the car as they came round.
So I mean, I really don't know. So I have this name in my head. I'm sure it's not him, but I got to say Berger, but I don't know why it keeps popping in my head. But yeah,
It wasn't Berger.
yeah.
Now, throughout the year, up until this point, David Coulthard
Oh
had been
bloody hell!
driving this car, but for the last, I think it was 2 or 3 races, this driver took over from David Coulthard in kind of an effort to help Damon uh, with his title bid that year.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Was it? No, it
Okay,
can't have
well,
been.
he was at that time. He would have been the reigning IndyCar champion.
It wasn't Villeneuve, isn't it?
No, it wasn't Villeneuve.
Oh, the reigning IndyCar champion,
Yeah,
and he made a pole position.
yeah.
Who the fuck was that? I mean, it cannot have been Andretti.
No, it
Yeah,
was
I mean, because
Nigel Mansell.
oh yeah,
It was Nigel Mansell. If you remember, he won the '93 IndyCar championship, and then as actually it was the last 2 or 3 races, Frank Williams got uh, Nigel to come back to Formula
mm,
One because the IndyCar season for that year, I think, was nearly over. Um, and he won that Australian Grand Prix. That's
okay.
his last Grand Prix win and his last Grand Prix um, podium. And I think it was his last Grand Prix finish. He did do some starts for McLaren, but
Hmm.
I don't think he managed to finish any of the races he did. Moustache won. It wasn't D. It was
Yeah,
Moustache Mansell.
that I mean that only shows how bad of a driver Coulthard was.
Well,
I have no sympathy for the guy, like none, zero,
that
nada.
was that was the year that he crashed at Monza, and it was also the year that he crashed coming into the pit lane, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, of course it did. I mean, yeah,
That was David Coulthard's uh, chance. He could have taken that car to a world championship,
yeah,
but he blew it big style.
yeah.
He blew it big style, and then he went to McLaren after that, part on Mika Hakkinen.
Yeah. Anyway,
So there we go.
okay.
Nobody got that one. Bob did get a point for saying that we all might.
Yes, I agree. I agree totally.
So you're the man today, Bob.
Okay, so we'll see ourselves in a couple of weeks, and we'll see if Samus has been released by. I mean, we really don't know. It's either jail or is stuck in a brothel. We don't know, right? So we hope it's a former. We think it's a. Well, I mean, we hope it's the latter, but we think it's a former. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you posted.
If it's a Colombian jail, then I think brothel would probably be included in that.
Oh yeah, but it will be the beach, not the. So I'm not really sure about that. But so yeah, okay. Anyway, thank you very much for anybody joining us. Let me see. Thanks, Lucky. Simos didn't do nothing. Oh yeah, Simos didn't do nothing. Yeah, I will see. We'll see. We're not sure about that. I mean, justice will decide, or the hookers. Who knows?
We'll find out in due course.
Yeah. Ciao, man. Have a good time. Thank you, Babelbis. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.